Yo, what it is, boys? Today by the artist NBAyoungBoy Real Killer or Fake Gangster. You know what I'm saying? I just got done rap to this music video. It's called Heard of Me. You know what I'm saying, man? On my other channel, I got a backup channel that I post my what's it called? My music reactions. It's called ZYoung Reaction. Make sure you go over there and sub to that. But yeah, man, about to get into this YoungBoy Real Killer or Fake Gangster. Should like the video. I didn't see the jump. I watched half of the joint, ain't gonna lie, but I just want to do a reaction on this shit. Watch the full video. I might go watch the full video because it's like, bro, it's so long. So I might watch half of it. Watch everything I can watch. And yeah, man, let's get it started. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's wait for the commercial to go by.
Don't you want to play something different? Bring it up.
Site we skipping that. Oh, I just read them bad.
I really feel like this is the next
Come on now, bro.
best thing since Auto-Tune was created. Lyric Studio is an lyricalist.
Warning. This video contains themes of violence, death, and gang activity. The purpose of this video is to provide an educational account of history. This effort has including swearing. I can't show you on all, just hit the... Over the last 5 years, there's been few rappers that have generated as much excitement and controversy as YoungBoy. His music is personal, thought-provoking, and violent in equal measure. He's one of the few artists who can top the Billboard charts with music all about killing, death, and destruction. But his ability to communicate the stuff music
that beat hard. YouTube, don't copyright me, bro. You don't copyright me. This is not my music channel.
About killing, death, and destruction. But his ability to communicate the stark realities of life growing up in the dangerous slums of Baton Rouge have inspired people all over America and the world at large. YoungBoy's experiences in the gang-infested slums of Louisiana, where it's kill or be killed, inspired a generation of downtrodden youngsters to struggle through the pain too. Because despite losing family members and being the target of numerous assassination attempts, YoungBoy has always managed to come out on top. Not just surviving, but beating the odds and coming back bigger.
He have been in shootouts like everywhere and shit, man. Like every time he shoot up, he just can make it out alive all the time. Me by YoungBoy.
Every single time. It's rare to find an artist who attracts this much love and hate all at the
Dang, bro, he got crazy fans too, bro. He got crazy fans.
Same time. And YoungBoy's thugged out survival anthems for the streets have made him one of the most beloved artists in history. But his influence has a dark side too, because some might say that his aggressive
It's that 2018 YoungBoy right there.
But his influence has a dark side too. Because some might say that his aggressive murder anthems are inspiring a generation of lost teenagers to slide and resort to violence just like he had to. But can YoungBoy really be blamed? When basketball player Ja Morant ended up in hot water for flashing
he a YoungBoy fan, you could tell.
a gun in a
I remember that nigga, Ja Morant. I made a video about that nigga.
strip club to YoungBoy's music, many people suggested that this was YoungBoy's fault. And considering just how many
G-Money, man, we all know
lives seem to have been lost as a direct result of YoungBoy's career, whether it's the murder of rival Baton Rouge rapper G-Money, to the slaying of YoungBoy's beloved manager Big Dump, or even the killing of Chicago rap legend King Von, seemingly a self-defense shooting, the result of Von trying to fight one of YoungBoy's friends. To say YoungBoy and his NBA crew are dangerous would be an understatement. But is the group of people that YoungBoy surrounds himself a gang of loose cannons shooting first and asking questions later, or are they just really a family of youngsters with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that they would put their lives on the line to protect? Over the course of his career, so many people have died that YoungBoy even refers to himself as the Murder Man, and claiming in numerous songs to have been the direct cause of as many as
I know that song too. I forgot the name, but I heard that loud. So.
murders in his hometown. Over the years, many people have questioned the authenticity
R.I.P. Kevon.
of YoungBoy's Gangster
He has some good music though.
image.
You got cap in your raps. YoungBoy talking about on this song, bro.
In spite of all of the violence surrounding his career, in 2022, YoungBoy had a change of heart, perhaps coming the result of reflecting on all of the destruction and pain that had been caused by his music career, or as a result of years of legal battles that have seen YoungBoy endlessly confined to a cell or on house arrest. Because recently, he's been calling to stop the violence, pledging in interviews to stop promoting murder and violence in his songs, and even taking steps to de-escalate the conflict with his most hated rivals in Baton Rouge, with YoungBoy's crew even sharing the stage with their mortal enemy Fredo Bang for a special charity concert
I remember that shit.
to stop the violence.
Remember that, y'all?
Said,
When they had made the Christmas give out and shit last year.
Charity concert aiming to stop the violence. But that said, even these intentions have been called into question when, after pledging to stop the violence, YoungBoy continues to drop violent murder anthems back to back.
Damn.
So the $50 million question remains unanswered. Is YoungBoy really a grave digger?
YoungBoy be confusing me and his fans. I say it all the time. That's crazy.
The self-proclaimed murder man of Baton Rouge really serious about stopping the violence? Or is this all just a ploy to try and avoid the responsibility for convincing a generation of teenagers to pick up a gun and get active in the streets? Well, today we're going to take a closer look at the murders, the music, and the man, and decide once and for all, is YoungBoy really as dangerous as they say he is?
It's either you're gonna die, you're either gonna be a bum, or you're gonna be successful, or you're gonna go to jail. And the reason I act that way is because the scary part, I don't know which one I'm gonna be.
I might watch this whole video. Like, y'all see how long it is right here, bro. Like, god damn. I ain't watch that shit, bro. I might make a little clips of this video, but matter of fact, I might not even do that shit. I might just like y'all might just get my reaction at this video. I'll be out of this video.
But I ain't dumb though. You hear me? And the people who play that role to y'all, them know I ain't dumb. The people who really know me, they know I ain't dumb. You hear me? How the f I came this far? You think I came this far by being dumb? Oh man.
Wait, stop. Don't skip this video because I've got great news for you and your hair. If you are tired of losing...
Today's story takes place in the state of Louisiana. Louisiana is in the United States Deep South, a historic region of the US with a dark history. The Deep South has had deep ties to the historic slave trade, with these particular states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia historically being heavily dependent on the plantation system.
But like, I don't wanna, man, you talking about slavery and shit. What the fuck does it gotta do with YoungBoy? Let me skip this part.
Inside, driving around the area.
With the shooters and the usually would have devastatingly around midnight on Wednesday, when around 9:30
What that gotta do with YoungBoy though? Hold on, let me go back to it. This nigga talk about some other shit.
Age 14.
I grew up stealing, taking from people. Well, at first, I want my mom to take care of me. When I know my dad started catching my attention at a young age. I got booked for robbery at my age.
That shit say unreleased. I thought that shit was out. That interview was out.
Ultimately, YoungBoy found himself in a youth detention center for this robbery. But perhaps this would be a blessing in disguise, as while he was incarcerated, he would claim to have found his purpose in life, beginning to write music and using that as a way to express himself and cope with the pains of life, vowing to become an artist rather than a criminal.
I ain't gonna say it was the best thing that happened to me. It helped me know my purpose. It helped me with that. I wrote at least like 25 songs in the beat.
What shirt that is? I read people don't read that shirt no more. I forgot that.
It helped me learn how to express myself.
YoungBoy's family were actually always interested in
that was laid back in 2016. Yeah, people don't read that shit no more.
YoungBoy claimed to have written his own obscene rap lyrics in the 4th grade, and he had apparently been taken to the studio by his mother, who herself was also an aspiring rapper. And his father had even written to him from jail, telling him that he had been writing music during his 55-year sentence,
and encouraging
YoungBoy to focus on music too.
Crazy.
So, upon his release from jail for robbery, YoungBoy would return to 38th Street with little more than just a dream of becoming a rapper, along with a lifetime of trauma. And before he could get anywhere with his rap career, he would at least need a stable environment to live in. Luckily, he ended up finding a new place in the neighborhood to call home, with YoungBoy rapping on the song Life that he met his friend 33 riding his bike down Chippewa, and that 33's mother accepted him into their home like family. According to 33, him and YoungBoy are essentially brothers, as the two grew up with the same mother, Monique. But Monique is really 33's biological mother, as we know that YoungBoy is the biological son of Sharonda Golden. But due to the fact that 33's mother Monique helped raise YoungBoy, he often refers to her as his mother as well. which would make 3-3 his adopted brother, and the two do seem to have a relationship that is stronger than most real brothers. And because of this, the two basically just say they're real brothers.
You said you knew him since you were 4? Because you guys are brothers, and you were born around each other, so it's like you don't have any memories of not knowing them.
No, it's like you know how both our dad is split up, you know what I'm saying? So we got the same mom.
Yeah, basically like homeboy, like they call each other brothers. They like brothers. They homeboy, but they like brothers.
Man, really.
Yeah, I love for each other like brothers.
I started making music and my brother just really inspired me to go in the booth because it really wasn't about me, it was really about YoungBoy, and I was pushing him.
He actually the coolest one. I think he the coolest one. He the coolest one out of all the count.
He just told me, man, look, come do this with me, and he pushed me to go in the booth.
Man, nigga like chill.
I just took a liking into it, and that's where it really started from. So shout out YB.
Meanwhile, YoungBoy's relationship with his own biological mother Sharonda was up and down during his childhood. Years down the line, he would open up about this on the song Lonely Child from his October 2019 project AI YoungBoy 2, when he says that even though he called 3-3's mother Monique his adopted mother, he still needs Sharonda in his life. Perhaps due to the lack of a real father figure growing up, meant that he had to rely on both of his mothers for emotional and mental support. But anyway, after getting out of Juvenile and finding a new safe space to call home, YoungBoy's new spiritual brother 3-3 would be supportive of his aspirations as a rapper, and together this brotherly duo would get back to finessing on the streets to pay for studio time, eventually with YoungBoy getting enough recording time in to produce a full-length musical project. And by April 10th, 2015, YoungBoy had released his first ever mixtape, Life Before Fame. This tape featured tracks like Homicide and Range Rover, which showed a 15-year-old YoungBoy truly had the skills to pay the bills early on. The album begins with an intro where YoungBoy mentions an affiliate of his named D-Dog catching a body. This sets the mood for the rest of the album, letting fans know straight away that YoungBoy...
Here's how D-Dog went back to jail. After he got out, all the media rap about him, went back to jail.
...ties to the streets, despite the fact that he was technically still a child at this point. And in the same song, he gives us an insight into his torturous relationships and the reason behind why he finds it so hard to remain faithful to his partners, even at age 15. In the song I Know, YoungBoy begins to paint a menacing picture of his position in the local gang hierarchy, mentioning on 2 occasions how he can rely on another known NBA affiliate by the name of Lil Pap to go get him. A brash statement which shows that even at age 15, YoungBoy was really in the streets with people around him that he could send to do dirty work. YoungBoy would also share his experience with Get Back and Vengeance in this project. On the track Deal With It, he talks about how revenge was exacted on the person who killed his uncle, saying that they spotted the person who killed his uncle and that YoungBoy witnessed somebody put that person in a casket, and going on to say that the deceased man's brother is now after him. This is an important lyric, as it shows that even back when he was just 15 years old, people were dying around YoungBoy, being killed, and he was becoming a target himself, despite not being directly responsible for the violence that played out. Elsewhere on this song, YoungBoy pledges his allegiance to a group called TBG, or Top Boy Gorilla.
Oh yeah, he left that gang a long time ago. That's Fredo Bang gang right there, y'all.
Rapper. Though unfortunately, as is often the case in the streets, over time, as YoungBoy's star rose, tension would brew between the members of TBG, arguing over who the next big rapper from the group would be. And eventually, what begun as a partnership would devolve into a deadly beef, with members of TBG picking their sides, and the feud escalating into an all-out gang war, with people being murdered on both sides, and years of heartbreak playing out on the streets and in the music. When YoungBoy left juvenile detention, inspired to become a rapper rather than a robber, it wouldn't take long for others to see the potential that this teenage rap prodigy had. From here, a group of people from his neighborhood with ties to the music industry as well as the streets would begin to take him under their wing. YoungBoy's first mixtape, Life Before Fame, was actually released under the banner of TBG, with YoungBoy and 3-3 being seen in throwback pictures rocking TBG.
Yeah, there was all the music videos, the him and G Money, all the
with a storied history
back into 2015, y'all.
Dangerous streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. TBG was supposedly started by deceased Louisiana native and affiliate of rap veteran Boosie, Little Ivy Smith.
That's young Boosie right there.
Cool. A future
Lil Yoshi.
TBG rap prospect, Lit Yoshi. More on him later. Now, Lil Ivy was sadly killed in an unsolved triple homicide back in 2005. However, at this early stage in the game, YoungBoy was nothing more than a promising young prospect to these Baton Rouge rap OGs. The older members of TBG were looking to find the next up-and-coming rap rookie who could potentially be the next homegrown rap star to come out of Baton Rouge. And at the time, the real crown jewels of the TBG squad were a couple of rappers known as G Money and Fredo Bang, who around the time were picking up steam with their song iPhone 6 alongside Boulevard Mel and YMM Captain. You can tell that YoungBoy was truly close with the TBG crew at this point because YoungBoy even appeared in the background of the iPhone 6 music video, at one point handing a Gucci bag to Fredo Bang, a moment that would honestly be inconceivable in what would later become a deadly and bitter beef. As the story goes, the TBG crew had ties to Baton Rouge's criminal underworld, and rappers and affiliates of the TBG crew were still involved in the local drug trade. Unfortunately, soon some of this street beef would end up souring things on the music side, because the TBG crew supposedly had a beef going with another Baton Rouge crew called BBG, or Bottom Boy Gorillas. Gang, crew, clique, record label.
Oh, that's YoungBoy cousin. He had got murdered too.
You want, but BBG and TBG were bitter enemies, with a big rumor at one point going around that YoungBoy's cousin Boozilla, who was affiliated with BBG, ended up in a bitter disagreement with G-Money from TBG. Now, there's been intense speculation over the years as to what was the exact cause of this beef. Some have suggested that Boozilla ran off with money or drugs from G-Money, whilst others suggest that the whole drama was actually over a woman. Another explanation even suggests that it was actually YoungBoy himself who stole money from G-Money, but actually blamed the finesse on his cousin Boozilla, as Boozilla was seen on Twitter disavowing his own family at one point, and G-Money seemingly indicating that
he did YoungBoy's. Was he saying he dissed YoungBoy because YoungBoy blamed him for taking his money?
Disavowing his own family at one point, and G-Money seemingly indicating that this rumor was true on his diss track Industry, where he claimed that YoungBoy had him looking for Boozilla with a gun, and saying that Boozilla actually wanted to kill YoungBoy over this whole situation.
If I look up this what's it called? This Twitter, will it still pop up? Hold on, let me do this Twitter real quick. There he go right there. Damn, I know that shit gonna actually pop up. Look at that shit. Where's his hold on. Trying to find the messages with him. It's like, wait, that's that shit. Yeah. You're crazy. But yeah, let's get started.
Twitter disavowing his
Not get started,
family.
but let's get back to the video.
And G-Money seemingly indicating that this rumor was true on his diss track Industry, where he claimed that YoungBoy had him looking for Boozilla with a gun, and saying that Boozilla actually wanted to kill YoungBoy over this whole situation. There's even an old clip circulating that showed Boozilla and BBG affiliate Baby Joe seemingly posted up with guns looking for YoungBoy and saying F NBA.
NBA. Yeah, pull up. What up, Baby Joe? Pull that bitch up.
This was unusual because previously Boozilla had claimed to be a member of the group NBA, and even at one point referred to himself as NBA Boosie. Now, I'll explain to you what NBA means in a minute, but just bear with me. Because meanwhile, as that personal beef
NBA means the basketball team, basically. NBA means the basketball team. Can't take a brand from anything. Come on.
A professional beef was emerging between YoungBoy and the TBG crew. According to some, at a certain point YoungBoy got frustrated with the TBG label. This was likely due to the fact that he wasn't necessarily getting the money or shine that he thought he deserved from the crew, with their main focus being on building the careers of G-Money and Fredo Bang rather than investing in YoungBoy. So at some point, YoungBoy and 3-3 would leave TBG, starting their own crew. Initially, 3-3 and YoungBoy wanted a group based on YoungBoy's initials, Kentrell Golden, or KG. Since KG also means kilograms, the initial idea was to call their crew Weight Gang, another reference to the drug gang.
At first his name was like KG, but then we got, like, that's where the Weight Gang come from, but
what did KG stand for?
Like, his initials. That's his name,
right.
Weight Gang was one of the first things he had came up with.
But clearly that name wasn't really hitting the spot. So later on, a few of the members of this crew were just chilling, sitting on their porch, when YoungBoy apparently vowed that he was not trying to go broke no more, to which other members of the crew agreed the same thing, with this pledge giving the crew inspiration to name themselves Never Broke Again, or NBA.
Like when we was on the porch one day, it was like, we ain't trying to go broke no more. And then he was like,
that's called NBA Never Broke. NBA Youngboy Never Broke Again. Nice. Yes, like that.
I ain't trying to go broke neither, so we never broke.
Youngboy Never Broke Again. That's what it's called.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? From day one, that's where NBA started from. Like,
so the NBA crew was born, naturally taking some inspiration from the National Basketball Association. They would even make their logo the Jumpman, the iconic logo affiliated.
Take it away, and put a gun in his hand. That's how they did it. That's how they made it look raw. They took the ball away, put a gun in his hand.
Michael Jordan dunked the basketball, but for Never Broke Again, their version would be a man jumping up in the air holding a pistol. Youngboy's NBA crew wanted to go from pistol-toting stick-up kids to music industry heavy hitters being paid as much as professional basketball players. Now, whether or not you like the name, there was no denying that the meaning behind it was powerful, and together, the Never Broke Again crew rallied around Youngboy, vowing to do whatever it took to take him to the top, and make sure that they as a group never go broke again. So, before we dive any deeper into the goings-on of the Never Broke Again crew, let's just take a quick look at some of the main members of that collective so that you can follow everything that's about to go down in this long and complicated story. Youngboy is of course the face of Never Broke Again, the NBA collective. He is the label's leading rapper. And this crew's bet on getting behind Youngboy's career would ultimately end up paying off handsomely. With his crew's support, he would go on to become one of the biggest artists in the entire world. Then there's OG33.
But yeah, man, that's it for the day, for the night, man. Youngboy Real Killer or Fake Gangster, you know what I'm saying, man? Watch half of this shit. Let's see what the shit was going on. Because I had watched the full thing, but I watched half of it, but I watched half of it. So watch out all I need to know. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell to be notified when I post a new video. Yeah, man. I'm out, man. Peace.